good?
Good morning.
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Stormy.
What's happening? Hey, King. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, Keys.
Got it.
Yep. This the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
There's one.
A bigger chair or something?
Is she already little?
We had
That's what I'm talking about. Good. This is the accommodation.
There you go.
Oh,
You said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are
But we
plus
should,
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same, you know? Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community.
I'm laughing at Tony Yayo, not at the situation. All joking aside, that video made me very uncomfortable. I'm gonna be totally honest with y'all. That video made me very uncomfortable. And like I said, I think it's one of these things where we think we're being nice to people. We think, y'all hear me talk about all the time when I say fathers, a lot of fathers and parents in general, it seems like they want to be friends with their kids rather than give them the harsh reality in certain situations that are needed. I see this the same way. She says that we should be, I mean, she walks in, look at how she's dressed. It's like the audacity in a lot of ways. And a lot of people can sit here and say, well, she should be able to wear whatever she wants. This is unhealthy. It looks disgusting. And I'm being totally honest because I don't want to be exactly what I'm accusing people of doing and causing people to feel fake comfortable by wearing these type of things and by just living life this particular way. You think you're doing people a favor, but you're really not. She comes in and I wanted to play the entire video first off, but then there's a couple things that I want to highlight. You hear people kind of like, and I saw a different clip actually. So throughout the clip, she's with, I believe, a gentleman, and it seems as if like nobody's telling her exactly what she needs to hear, that this is a problem. Nobody's telling her that this is a problem. And then you know what's going to happen? She's going to, well, God forbid she doesn't, but what you're setting yourself up to is have a high chance of dying early. And then when she dies early, people will celebrate her life and go to the funeral. And then it'll just be, oh, what happened to Dank Demoss? And then that'll be it. And then that'll be it. Instead of telling people, instead of shaming people, if you're saving somebody's life, then maybe it's okay to shame people. I want to watch the video one more time, go through it, because to me, this is the equivalent of, like, it's very cowardly. It's the equivalent of being able to save somebody's life or seeing somebody that's struggling, getting ready to die, and instead of you stepping in, you say, well, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. Please take another look at this. She had to ask for another. She couldn't fit in a regular chair, and they had to bring a sectional sofa, a piece of the sectional sofa over there.
You good?
good morning.
And she says that, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, accommodation. And to be totally honest, at the end of it, when she says, just like we accommodate the LGBTQ, she actually has a point. And this is why all of this stuff becomes a slippery slope, in my opinion. She actually has a point. When we are willing to change the English language and call one person they, them, and turn it into a plural, if we're willing to accommodate those things, then of course somebody like her is going to be thinking that, oh, now the world should accommodate me. And it never stops. It's a slippery slope. And in her situation and in a lot of other situations, when we talk about whether it's the trans or a lot of these other things, to me, it's a scream for help. It's a call for help, or it should be a call for help. It should be a call for help, but instead we celebrate it and we reward it and we excuse it. Let's keep going. Let's look at it again.
Morning.
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Stormy.
What's happening?
Come on.
Hey, King. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, Keys.
Got it.
This, anybody with her, in my opinion, and I know this may be unfair to say, but if you're with her, then it's almost like, especially if you're getting money off of her, I guess she's getting a little bit of fame now because of her situation. But just like we call those attorneys ambulance chasers and just trying to be there and play the victim role, or have her embrace this victim role just so they can make some money off of it. It seems like the people around her are doing the exact same thing.
Yep. It's the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
Cause she already little.
We had
That's what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm talking about.
Good, this is the accommodation.
There you go.
I don't know what makes people change, and to each their own. But you know what's so funny? I heard a joke. It was Stephen A. Smith and his nephew. And his nephew was joking around because y'all know Stephen A. Smith is acting like he's getting ready to run for president. And his nephew was saying, "Oh, I'm going to be your vice president." And the nephew said, "Oh, well, you know, there's some things that I would like to change if I become vice president." And Stephen A. sitting there like, "Well, what things would you change?" And the nephew said, "Yeah, like certain things like being forced to wear a seatbelt or else I get a ticket." Think about this. Think about this. He said, "Why should I be given a ticket? Why shouldn't I be allowed to, if it's my health, why shouldn't I be able to not wear a seatbelt?" And then, you know, you think about it and it's like, nah, we got to, you know, protect our people. You know, you can't just we make that rule. So therefore more people are more likely to wear a seatbelt and more people are likely to have that safety. So less people ultimately get injured or die. Right. Okay. Makes sense. Isn't this the same type of situation? Isn't this the same type of situation? Why should she be like, I don't know what, if there can be a rule. Obviously there can't be a rule, but it's like when you just accommodate people and you allow them to put themselves in a position to where you know that they're going to harm themselves. It's just like suicide isn't illegal. Suicide is not illegal. I mean, suicide is not legal. You cannot commit suicide. Now, I don't know. Obviously, you commit suicide and you succeed, you know, you're obviously not going to go to court. You succeeded. You won't transition. But if you do not succeed, I don't know if there's punishments or anything like that, but it's just very sad. We should not be living in a culture, in my opinion, where we are allowing people, and allowing is one thing, but where we are accommodating people killing themselves, that's a problem. When I walk in the Nike store, and now because we got to accommodate plus size, now there's plus size on and it's like Nike's supposed to represent health, whatever. I just feel like this is very, it's very uncomfortable. I feel very bad for her. I wish I could help her. I really do. But the thing is, when you live in a society that coddles you and that tells you there's absolutely nothing wrong and that the world should should mold to you and should fit you, rather than you adjust to what makes sense and what's the healthiest way to live, or at least not just us feeding into somebody being self-destructive. It's almost like, damn, like if you know your friend's on drugs, should we just give them drugs? And if that's the case, then why aren't drugs legal? Why shouldn't somebody be able to shoot up and shoot up heroin in their arm? Why not? I thought one of the reasons why you're not allowed to do those things is because it's so harmful. I don't know. Shout out to Ebony in the building. What's up? What's up? Ebony wrote, yeah, she's delusional. She said she doesn't realize she's as big as she is until she goes to do some smaller body shit. And Ebony, this is the thing. This is why I think shame could be a valuable tool. I think about shaming, you know, when you think about the things that people get shamed for, it prevents you from acting on your lust. It prevents you from acting on your just things that you want in the moment and being aware of how they're going to impact you in the big picture, I would say. And she is delusional, and we're feeding into that delusion. And to me, that's an evil thing to do, for us to feed into somebody's delusion, which is going to make it more likely for them to die at an early age. Like that's evil. That's evil to me. Let's keep going.
Oh,
You said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that
But
are
we
plus
should,
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same, you know? Bigger
Because we're not all the same. we should accommodate all people. We don't accommodate plenty of things in this world. We don't accommodate pedophiles. We don't accommodate heroin users, like I just said. We don't accommodate a lot of stuff.
People should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community.
It's sad. It's sad. But I just wanted to leave that there. I don't even want to go into it too much because honestly, it's very hard to watch. I just genuinely feel bad for her. I genuinely feel bad for her. I was going to talk about yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right. What's the next icebreaker? All right. So we're going to go to this next video. Shout out to big bro Doug. Doug sent this one over. I think we have it saved on Instagram. Yes, we do. Let me share the screen for y'all.